For the holidays, we decided to take our family on a cruise. And despite our suggestions, they picked a 7-day Southern Caribbean itinerary with essentially a port every day on a 24-year-old Celebrity Cruises ship. Did we make a huge mistake going on this cruise? Well, we're back and we share all the details about the ship, the itinerary, and our experience up next. Welcome aboard, cruisers. I'm Don B from Eat, Sleep, Cruise. And if you're a subscriber to this channel, then you know Heidi and I are fans of megaships and tend to sail on the largest and newest cruise ships out there. And on previous cruises, we've taken Heidi's family on some of these ships, like the amplified Oasis of the Seas. But for this holiday cruise, they had a few requests. They wanted to visit new Caribbean destinations, and they wanted to sail on an itinerary that had the fewest sea days as possible. So after reviewing all the options and pricing, they picked a 7-day cruise from San Juan, Puerto Rico on Celebrity Summit. This cruise would visit St. Maarten, Antigua, St. Lucia, Barbados, and Dominica with only one sea day. And that last part there probably hurt the most because sea days are one of our favorite parts of cruising. Additionally, they wanted to make sure they did a shore excursion and tour at every single port of call. Typically, we stay on a ship at least at one port of call to experience all the onboard attractions and amenities. Indeed, our preferred travel advisor was able to secure a great rate with Celebrity Cruises all-included pricing. And if you're looking to book a cruise, check our exclusive link down below where you can get the same great deals and promotions from MEI Travel, the official travel partner of Eat, Sleep, Cruise. Part of the package they were able to get us included the classic drink package and Wi-Fi as part of the cruise fare. In addition, they are running a promotion where we got free onboard gratuities as well. And this cruise fare was significantly cheaper than a similar cruise we were also looking at on Norwegian Viva. But we did have some hesitations with this decision. What would the holiday vibe be like on a ship that doesn't necessarily cater to families? Would our nephew be bored? Given that we tend to sail on newer ships, what would we actually think of this vessel? Nonetheless, not to make waves, we went along with our family decision and hopped on Celebrity Summit in San Juan for this holiday adventure. And by modern day standards, many would consider Celebrity Summit a small and old ship. Debuting in 2001, Celebrity Summit is a 12-deck, 91,000 gross ton vessel carrying just over 2,200 passengers. As one of the oldest ships in the Celebrity Cruises fleet, it does lack many of the bells and whistles that megaships offer. And to be honest, we are big fans of Celebrity Cruises Edge class, which has a completely different layout and several different amenities. Still, Celebrity Summit did have many of the staples of our Celebrity Cruise. There was a pool deck, the spa and fitness center, a casino, a main theater with signature productions, multiple bars and lounges, as well as complimentary and specialty dining options. The ship did undergo an extensive renovation in 2019. Some of the enhancements included a complete redesign of all the staterooms, the addition of the retreat for suite guests, and reimagining of many of the other public spaces. Of all these updates, we were surprised how modern and inviting the staterooms were. They even featured an upgraded bathroom with a glass shower. Yet, given the Edge class is among our favorites, we were a bit disappointed in the pool deck on Celebrity Summit. The outdoor area does feature 2 pools, whirlpools, and plenty of loungers, but it felt rather dated. The same could be said about the indoor solarium. It felt rather closed off and wasn't as tranquil or serene as other solariums in the Celebrity Cruises fleet. Celebrity Summit does feature a sports court and a rooftop terrace aft on Deck 12, but this area looked like it was in need of some updating. With that said, we really didn't spend much time outdoors on Celebrity Summit, given we were off exploring a new port of call essentially each day. During our 1C day, we had no issue securing lounge chairs, and our nephew enjoyed hanging out in the pool. The interior public spaces, while smaller and less of them, did feel refreshed. Our typical evening routine consisted of dinner in the Cosmopolitan restaurant, a game show in the Rendezvous Lounge, a show in the main theater, and if we were not exhausted from a long day ashore, some drinks around the ship. When it comes to the restaurants and bars, Celebrity Summit features many familiar favorites. The Cosmopolitan restaurant is a 2-story main dining room which offered a rotational menu each evening. The food selections were on par with our expectations, and the service was timely for the most part. While we chose Celebrity Select Dining, we were assigned essentially the same table most nights of our cruise. So our wait staff of Kim and Win got to know our dining preferences, and they were standouts when it came to service on the ship. Other casual dining options included the Ocean View Cafe, the Mass Grill, and the Spa Cafe. We always applaud the selections in Celebrities Buffet, and this experience delivered as well. The Pool Grill was another option for grab-and-go burgers and fries. However, we were disappointed in the Spa Cafe, as it seemed like they were out of smoothie ingredients whenever we visited, and the food selections there, and the small plates and healthier options available there seemed like an odd mixed match of selections. Celebrity Summit does have a few specialty restaurants as well. These include the Tuscan Grill, Sushi on 5, and Le Petit Chef at Cuisine. We dined at the Tuscan Grill one evening, and the food did not disappoint. When it comes to bars and lounges, Celebrity Summit features the Sky Observation Lounge, Mast and Pool Outdoor Bars, Sunset Bar, Cellar Masters, the Rendezvous Lounge, and our personal favorite, the Martini Bar, not to mention Cafe Abacchio. However, when compared to the Edge class, the vibe wasn't nearly as lively. While mostly updated, the venues also lacked theming and character. Most of the bars did have signature drink menus though, so we were still able to grab cocktails while enjoying the evening activities and entertainment around the ship. And of course, Cafe Abacchio was our go-to for our twice daily caffeine fix, as well as a quick bite to eat or a sweet treat. To be honest, the cruise director Emmanuel was one of the highlights of the activities team on Celebrity Summit. He was funny and upbeat, and we enjoyed all the entertainment that he hosted. Although some of the other activities around the ship felt dull and rushed. We did attend several of the game shows in the Rendezvous Lounge, like 60 Seconds or Less, Yes or No, and True or False. We also made sure to check out some of the live music around the ship, which mostly occurred in either Cellar Masters or the Rendezvous Lounge. Some of the other entertainment highlights included the silent disco and the totally 80s party in the Sky Lounge, and the full moon party on the pool deck, which was essentially the ship's white party. In the main theater, there was a show each evening. We watched 3 headliner acts, a comedian, a juggler, and a Motown group. We also attended 3 shows with the production cast, including a holiday spectacular, Life, and Soundtrack. All the shows were pretty average at best. Additionally, there were a few trivia sessions, outdoor movies, karaoke, and open play games in which we did not partake. Since this was a busy itinerary, the amount of activities and entertainment sufficed, but there was certainly less happening than we're used to when sailing on the newer Celebrity Cruises ships. Given this was a Christmas cruise, Santa did make an appearance as well. Overall, there were not too many holiday-themed events. Of course, there were decorations and trees around the ship, helping to add some Christmas cheer. Of note, Celebrity Summit does have a kids club, but it's rather anemic when compared to sister brand Royal Caribbean. Our nephew spent a few evenings playing Xbox, when he could get the gaming stations to work, in the video arcade, which was really just a game room that had a few Xboxes. But he ended up spending most of his time with us around the ship. As we mentioned previously, our family chose the sailing mainly for the itinerary. The ports of call were meant to be the focus of the trip, so we put extra emphasis on our shore excursion picks. The only port that our family had visited before was St. Maarten back in 2021. Even we would be visiting a new port, Dominica. So after reviewing our tour options, we booked several of our excursions with third-party vendor Shore Excursions Group. We've booked shore excursions with them in the past on several trips in different destinations, including the Caribbean. Booking tours with Shore Excursions Group is super easy. All you have to do is go to their website and put your ship, sail date, and itinerary, and it gives you all the tour options for every port of call. Given we were in port most days from around 9 a.m. to about 5:30 p.m., we weren't worried about booking with Shore Excursions Group because they do offer a return to ship guarantee. And you can browse shore excursions on their website and save up to 40% when compared to cruise line excursions by using our exclusive link down in the description. The first port of call was St. Maarten, the only destination that our family has actually been to before. Now in the past, our nephew wanted to visit Mahu Beach, but he wasn't able to do that the last time around. So to appease everyone in our party, we booked the St. Maarten Brewery experience at Mahu Beach, which is a small group tour of the Shore Excursions group. This tour visited XM Beer, the largest brewery on the island. Here we learned a bit about the company's history, the unique brewing process, got a tour of the facilities, and of course, a visit to a local brewery wouldn't be complete without some samples. Next, it was on to Mahu Beach, which is located adjacent to the Princess Juliana Airport. This is an experience unlike any other, where planes fly right over the beach before landing on the runway. It almost feels like you can just reach up and touch the planes. Here, we enjoyed some lunch, beach time, and the views before returning to the ship. Just be careful about watching the jets take off from the runway. Those engines are no joke. As a first destination, our family agreed this was a great way to start off the cruise. Our second port of call was Antigua, and here we decided to divide and conquer. My sister-in-law's family went on a hike with her family, and we took Heidi's mom on an island tour. We booked the panoramic Antigua small group tour with Shore Excursions group here. This sightseeing tour includes stops at notable landmarks for photo ops, while driving through several towns on the island. We stopped at the Blockhouse, Shirley Heights, and Nelson's Dockyard. At Nelson's Dockyard, we also got a short narrated tour from an on-site guide, though we would have appreciated a bit more time at this stop. Our final island stop on this tour was an hour beach break at Pigeon Point Beach. Too bad it started raining right when we arrived. In St. Lucia, our family agreed upon a tour that hit all the highlights: the Soufriere, Island Delight, and Falls. This tour departed from Castries, where a cruise ship was docked en route to Soufriere, passing through the towns of Canaries and Ancillary along the way. The first stop on this tour was a quick photo op of the Pitons. Too bad the Saharan dust clouded our view. Next up was the only drive-in volcano in the world, Sulphur Springs. While we didn't take a dip in the mud baths, we did take a brief tour of the Sulphur Springs before heading to our final destination. At the Diamond Botanical Gardens and Waterfall, we took an easy hike through the gardens to the waterfall for some photos. This tour provided a good overview of the island, giving our family some ideas of what they would do during their next visit to St. Lucia. Christmas in Barbados. Since it was a holiday, there weren't many tours available during our visit to the island, so we actually decided to book through the cruise line to do a visit to Harrison Caves. During this unique tour, we boarded a tram to explore the underground caverns, which begins with a short video introduction. With some narration from a guide, we admired the stalactites, stalagmites, and the natural pools. During the approximately 45 minutes in the cave, there were 2 stops where we could get out and take photos. Harrison's Cave is part of Chuka's Eco Adventure Park, which also features a zipline, challenge course, a Mount Gay rum experience, and small nature trail with an aviary. So you could book combo tickets to extend your visit. However, since this was a holiday, none of those other forfeit activities were open during our visit. Since this was also our first visit to Dominica, we wanted to see as much of the island as we could. But some of us are more adventurous than others when it comes to swimming in caves and the like. Nonetheless, we settled on the Jewels of Dominica tour from Shore Excursions Group, knowing ahead of time that the swim portions were optional. Our day started with a drive to Tito Gorge, a natural wonder and a filming location featured in Pirates of the Caribbean 2. Here, many guests braved the rough current for a swim to the gorge. Heidi and her mom opted out, and it's a good thing they did. While the tour description stated that once inside the cave, the water was only waist level, this was not the case due to the persistent rain in the region. In fact, the water flow was too strong for most guests to even make the swim out to the waterfall as described in the tour description. The second highlight of this tour was a visit to Trafalgar Falls. Here, there was a moderate uphill walk with several steps to the vantage point of these twin falls. While the tour also advertised to swim in the falls, it was not an option during our visit, again because of the weather. With these 2 stops being the highlights of the tour, we also made a brief stop at more Sulphur Springs, a drive-through small botanical garden, and a visit to Moore and Bruce for a panoramic photo op. Despite the rain most of the day, we enjoyed our stop in Roseau and exploring the lush island of Dominica. While we did have reservations about booking the Celebrity Summit family cruise, we're glad we did. Atypical for us, the ports of call were the focus of this Caribbean cruise. Our family had fun on the shore excursions and visiting these new destinations. This did mean that we were up early most days to head ashore, so we retired for the evening earlier than typical. As a smaller ship, it turned out Celebrity Summit was a good choice for this itinerary. We could still enjoy dining and nighttime entertainment without having FOMO about missing out on all the other amenities and attractions that you would typically find on the larger megaships we normally sail on. They were not elaborate stage productions like Beetlejuice or a racetrack like our Norwegian Viva, but that was okay. There was enough holiday spirit and activities occurring in the evenings to keep everyone in the group busy, even if they didn't compare to the offerings on other modern megaships. The food and drinks were what we've come to expect on a cruise, and we were pleasantly surprised by the staterooms. While the pool deck and some other areas of the ship did show its age, our family actually enjoyed this cruise more than previous cruises on Royal Caribbean. Of course, if we hadn't planned a tour in every port, or if there were more sea days, we may have had a different opinion. But overall, Celebrity Summit turned out to be a great backdrop to this port-intensive family cruise. And if you're considering booking a cruise with Celebrity Cruises, but you're new to the cruise line, or new to cruising in general, you want to check out our What's Included in Celebrity Cruises, plus what will cost you extra video. We detail everything that's included in the cruise fare, plus all those hidden fees the cruise line doesn't tell you about. That way you know exactly how much to budget for your cruise, and your next trip will be smooth sailing.